Hello and welcome to this video series where we're checking out submissions to the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. This time we will have a look at Worlds Apart by vlzvl. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. vlzvl. Let's go through the description here. Worlds Apart is a very short first-person grid-based dungeon crawler inspired by titles such as Dungeon Master, Eye of the Beholder, Lands of Lore, and Might and Magic 3-5. It was made in a week for Dungeoncrawler Jam 2023, however, with a plan to further build around. It's powered by the custom-made Jolt 3D game engine, which is also used on The Darkness Below in progress. Yeah, so that developer is also doing another game at the moment. Well, at the moment for several years now already. And that looks also quite nice. And I think, yeah, the inspirations from Eye of the Beholder are very apparent. I think it was also using some Eye of the Beholder textures in the beginning, which had been replaced. But anyways, let's go through the rest here. Features, pixel art graphics, first person, grid-based 3 maps, which is good to know. Combat, events, alright. Controls, the usual. N for taking screenshots. Escape for exit the game. Okay, that's also something to keep in mind to not accidentally close the game. Then we got some troubleshooting for Linux. I'm playing on Windows, so no problem. Credits, check the file credits text accompanied on Games Archive. I did that, and just to summarize it, I don't think that any of the assets used are originally coming from the author, which is totally fine. It's in the it's not a requirement at all to create the assets on your own. The question is always just how the composition is, right? And I personally I rate it a little bit higher if the artists also contribute their own art and drawing, but there's nothing speaking against taking the assets from other sources. It's just necessary to credit them. And of course it would also not be possible as a single developer to create all the graphics here and the game within 7 days. So yeah. With that, let's jump into the game. Worlds Apart by vlzvl. And so we've got a nice starting screen here. Reminds me of like 1 second. Yeah, I thought it was on the box, but it's not. But it reminds me of Wizardry here. Bane of the Cosmic Forge. Anyways, let's start a new game. Alright, and that reminds me of Isha 2. No, Isha 1 actually. Tale of Light and Darkness. Okay, we have 4 party members. Thorax, Serena, Luther, Agnes. We cannot click on them, so I don't think that there's inventory. I also don't remember seeing an inventory in the inventory button in the description. Let's approach. Yes. Hear me, brave adventurers. Our village is in peril as a portal from another dimension has opened up. We fear for the worst, and we need your help urgently. Will you answer the call and come to our aid? The fate of our village rests in your hands. It's a bit quick, but alright. And the music stops while this is playing. Alright. I need to... 1 second. Okay. Just checking out the controls here. So, alright, but she didn't give us any direction. Also, we don't have a compass. Well, I guess we will just follow the road here. Okay. I think the tile size is a bit small. Something feels a bit off. Yeah, the tile size is too small. I think it's like this stone here. Alright. That looks like a skeleton, but it might also just be an old man. Okay, can we... no, these houses are sprites, so they're turning with us. There is no entry. Beware, travelers! The port leads a limited dimension, our village, where the cold chills you to the bone and monsters roam free in eternal night. I fought, wrought in that realm and barely escaped with my life. Turn back now, while you still can, and warn others of the danger that lies ahead. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that the music stops playing during the dialogue. Okay, looks like there's nothing in the world here besides of this village. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything else. Okay. Let me just quickly check the page again if there was anything. No. There's not even a button for interactions, so I'm not sure. We just drop into that. Okay. As the adventuring party reached the place of eternal night and cold, they couldn't help but feel a sense of wrongness. How could a place like this exist? The chill seemed to seep into their bones, and the darkness was all-encompassing. They knew they had to press on, but the sense of unease only grew stronger as they ventured deeper into the unknown. That's also a very nice way to continue the story. Like have this story text box showing up now and then, giving a bit of an update about the situation. As the adventurers stumbled upon the statue of an unknown god or demon, they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The statue features were twisted and grotesque, with bulging eyes and razor-sharp teeth. The longer they looked at it, the more they felt their sanity zipping away. It was as if the statue was alive, emanating an aura of pure evil. They knew they had to move on, but they couldn't tear their eyes away from the awful statue. They felt a deep unease in the pit of their stomachs, and a chill ran down their spines. Yeah, it just said that the music stops playing, and unnecessary. And it's a bit too fast. Alright. Ah, okay, so the combat is being done automatically. We also cannot move or flee or anything. Yeah, I mean, generally I'm not opposed to this combat idea. But if we do not have any options at all to interact... like, we cannot drink any potions, we cannot equip anything, we cannot select a stance or anything. I guess we also don't have any level ups or anything like that. So the only question might be whether or not we want to do the fight at all. And in that case, what I did was the wrong decision. Unless we also get experience, which it doesn't seem like we do. Alright. This game also... I don't know why so many... Oh. As the adventuring party retire in the middle of nowhere, they shouldn't help but feel a sense of unease. There was a name carved into the rotten wood of front door. The Haunted Halls. They had never heard of such a place before. What could this tower hold? Oh, nice. Yeah, and now you can see the tile size, which is very small. And we are also a bit high up. Yeah, I mean, this viewing window is also fairly small, so you need to keep that in mind. Yeah, what I wanted to mention is... oh, In this dungeon of darkness and fear, where the shadows grow ever near, beware the dangers that lie ahead, lest you succumb to the evil undead. Cool. Alright. So, let's kill that dude here. Nah, I don't see that I can influence anything. So, what I wanted to mention is that we can click on this stuff, right? And on mouse, it's fine if I hold the mouse button and it doesn't do anything. And then I can go away with the mouse, even if I clicked already. And I basically can undo the click, because it only activates if I release the mouse button on the key. But with keyboard controls, you will not want to have that. Keyboard controls are supposed to be responsive. If you press a key, you want something to happen when you press the key. You don't want it to happen when you release the key. So it feels like with movement, there is a delay with every move you do, because the movement is not being done by button down, but it's being done by button up. So there is an unnecessary delay with everything. Like, if I press forward, nothing will happen, and only once I release the button, you go forward. This, I mean, it's not a total deal breaker, but it adds some additional delay, which I think is unnecessary. Regarding the perspective, as I mentioned, I think that the tile size is too small, and this also makes you do, well, kind of a little or small steps forward. What's that? You're refreshed. Oh, okay. Some slimy slime. The graphics are nice and everything fits together quite well. I mean, obviously, a slime is never or hardly an enemy with a lot of art detail. The damned one looms ahead, a mighty foe to make your dread. Its power stands beyond compare. Special weapons you must prepare. Also nice with the rhymes. Okay. Ah, okay, there's another path. Also nice choice of music, which also fits very well. And let's talk about perspective quick. Like, yeah, here for example. You can see in which direction you can go, but barely. Like, you can see that this is continuing to the left side and this is taking a corner. But it could be better. If the camera was pulled a little bit back, you could also see that you can actually go to the right without looking exactly at the textures here. So I think regarding the perspective, it could also be yeah, a bit more visible. I'm not sure what the best solution would be to put the camera further back. Probably because maybe back and a little bit more down so that you don't feel as high up as you do here. You just would need to check that these are still like straight lines to make it look nice. Yeah, so part of that is also the tile size. If the tiles were bigger, this would also come naturally, that you would see more of the edges and maybe even the floor. And let me do a quick comparison here. Alright, just to have a comparison, this is Legend of Grimrock, and I try to match that to the height of this window. Not quite, but So just that you have an idea about like how other games do that. And with Legend of Grimrock you can see the tile you're standing on, and that also makes it easier to get a good orientation. And the same is actually true for Lands of Lore. This is the tile you're standing on, and this is the next tile. And of course you would be able to see this wall, and therefore you have a good orientation of where you can go. And of course you can also see that this was the wrong one, that the tile sizes in both of these games are a bit bigger, and this also has an impact on this. Alright, let's continue our journey here. And you would not be that much into the wall when you're standing in front of that, like this. Oh. Ah, okay. We are being teleported or spun around. Alright. This is a floating ghost or something? He doesn't have any legs. Sound effects also fit well. This might be the boss already? Oh no, there are a couple more of these. Okay, we restored our mana. Let's explore this area first. Uh-huh. Well, let's kill that mage dude first. Oh, hit points down. Well, it's interesting what the AI is doing, also healing up characters and so on. Okay, that character is dead. This might be our end. Oh no, you are dead. Alright, let's try that again. Hello. Alright. Alright. Yes. Yes. So, in the dungeon we maybe should have fought against these other knights first. Maybe this would have made our party stronger for some reason. I think we were already fully healed, so there was no point in, like, for hit points or something. It might of course also just be down to luck, which would be quite unfortunate. Because, yeah, we cannot really influence... we cannot really influence the combat, besides of what we sent into the combat. So as mentioned, I'm not opposed to having a completely automated combat. But then you would need to make an interesting setup. Like, what enemy are you facing next? Some slime monster? Okay, now I am using... I don't know. I take out my flamethrowers against the slime. You know, something like that. Alright, now we are back here. Okay. Oh. Ah, yeah, and he is resurrected. Yeah, but we can't really... I mean, I can only watch and hope for the best. Okay. As the adventurers stumbled upon the statue of the ancient fighter, they saw a very odd-looking sword lying next to it. The statue's features were weathered with age, but its power and might was still apparent. They knew that the sword was no ordinary weapon, and that it must have been wielded by the great warrior in the past. Okay, do we have that sword now? Do we use that sword? I don't know. I think we still had... Yeah, this is the... I think we still had one of these wells left for healing. We should use that. I hope that we still had one left. Yes. Alright. But this then has been the only tactical decision in the game so far. Well, and to get the sword first, which was kind of like a random thing. I couldn't have known that, but I think the sword here changed. So yeah, I think we got the new weapon now. And we killed it. With a final blast of magic, the Dimensional Wizard was defeated and the adventurers were victorious. As they made their escape from the alternate reality, they teleported back to their own world, leaving the dangers of the other dimension behind. Congratulations! Nice. Did this area also change a bit, get greener or something? I'm not quite sure. Quit back to title, yes. No, it's the same. Okay. I had the impression, but no. Alright, so yes, just to summarize, regarding the perspective, I think the tile size should be a little bit bigger. The perspective maybe a little bit pulled back. Regarding the field of view, I'm not quite sure. I think if it's a little bit bigger and the camera is pulled back, it might already be enough. Regarding the height, I mean, that's a more, I guess, an artistic choice. I think that we might be a bit too high, but I mean, that doesn't change anything regarding orientation. For the controls, I think that the movement should be on button down, not on button up, to make it feel more responsive. And regarding the graphics, I think everything matches perfectly together, so the game is very nice to look at. Also the interface. Of course, there's no inventory or anything like that, which is also a lot of... can be a lot of additional problems in a jam to implement something like that. So in this case, the only interface we have is basically the controls on screen, and they are also not like animated or anything happens when we press them. So that's kind of basic. So most of the potential interface issues are avoided that way. So it's still very nice to look at. I think on the graphical side, the game does great. The background music is also great. I mean, the music is supporting what we are doing. It's just a shame that it's not playing when we got text, which makes no sense to me. The fights in sound were the sounds in fight were also nice. The length of the game was fine, could have been a little bit longer, but on the other hand, yeah, I would have liked a bit more interactivity. The nice thing, what I liked about this this experience is the texts which we could find here and there. So that we had a story which was accompanying us, but I would have liked more interact, and you could just hear that the music looped, which is also something which is not optimal, but the interactivity in combat, I think, I was missing some of that. I felt like I was just watching basically the game playing itself, because I could not contribute anything. I was just watching how things were happening. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the best approach in this instance is. I think the easiest could have been, I mean, obviously just clicking on different attack buttons like with Eye of the Beholder would have been one option. I don't think, or I don't think that it's necessarily better. But for example, what we could have done, what could have been nice is maybe you remember these old football management or soccer management games. I don't have any international ones here, but in Germany we had Anstoß and Bundesliga Manager and whatever. And these had when you were playing or when you were preparing basically for the next day your team is playing, you didn't play the characters directly, but what you did is setting up the team, who's like in the front row, what's the position of each member, and also what tactics are you using. So for example, do you want to play like with a brutal style, do you want to be very careful, and so on. And that could be something which could also be implemented in such a combat type. Like for example, have one icon for each character, and that icon just determines what the AI is trying to do. Like for example, you set this guy to aggressive and whatnot, and then maybe if someone is getting hurt badly, you then change that to passive, so that the character takes other actions, maybe is healed more, something like that. Basically just that the AI is trying to do different things according to the settings you are doing for the character. I think that would be an easy way, not an easy way, but a way to implement it into the system without changing a lot with the interface and whatnot. And keeping the type of combat basically the same. So that would just be one of like my suggestion on how you could do that. There are of course other ways. But overall, I think it's a nice entry to the jam, by vlzvl. Not sure how to pronounce that. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can find a link down in the video description, Worlds Apart. You can also check out his other project, The Darkness Below. You will find it linked. Also, when you follow the link to itch.io to the Worlds Apart page, you saw that there is a link in there as well. You can also click on the author from Worlds Apart, and there you will then also see, if you check View All by vlzvl, you will also see his other project, and that way you can check out The Darkness Below. But that's it for Worlds Apart. If you're interested in seeing more videos about the jam, you can check out the playlist down in the video description with all the entries I did videos for so far. And of course, you can also subscribe to the channel to not miss any future videos. And with that, thank you for watching and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.